Hey everyone, it's PJ.
And Jake.
This podcast is about alcohol.
And the consumption of alcohol.
Therefore, this show is not recommended for anyone under the legal drinking age.
We also encourage our listeners to always drink responsibly.
And never get behind the wheel of a vehicle while intoxicated.
And now, on to the show.
Welcome to the Boozatory. Class is now in session.
Hi guys, welcome to Boozatory. Well, we did it again, I'm sorry. I apologize for every episode. But that especially I apologize for. PJ's here, what's up, bud?
Well, it's time for drunk food, man.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
We've spent a lot of time talking about the liquids.
It's
time to talk about
you
the
know
solids.
what we'll say. We'll talk guests here. We brought our you're here with our friend Eric Person.
Hello. Yeah.
We brought our designated driver, Cameron Little.
Hi.
How's it going, Cameron?
Oh, fucking, I'm alive. I'm moving.
Cameron,
I haven't seen you since episode 1, man.
Yeah, no, I have drastically changed.
Yeah, you look like you dropped weight.
35 pounds.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to gain it all back right now.
Yeah, this plate in front of us is looking scary, man.
Yeah, you've been sober for how long now since then?
6 months.
Hell
condolences.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you. It has been so much fun.
But you've been doing a lot of stuff. Like, you've been doing a lot of comedy and performances lately.
Yeah, I've been around. Been up in Chicago doing like DIY shows at a lot of punk houses.
You just finished up in Madison?
Yeah, I did Madison earlier last month. Probably be back out there sometime next year. Hopefully Milwaukee as well, working on shit for the road.
You came here to write the other day and we didn't?
Yeah. Oh, man.
I saw a lot of High Lifes
Yeah.
hanging around.
That
and
was-
then some Stellas, but I think Stellas was from Tim and his friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the work of the other comedians who were here that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're talking about drunk food. Because what do you love at the end of a night of drinking but some nasty stuff?
Yeah, so we got a whole bunch of greasy food in front of us. We've got Brand X $5 lukewarm and available to walk out the door with pizza with pepperoni. We've got a double multiple of 10 count of chicken that is in a series of shapes.
Yep.
2 different kinds of hamburgers, one with more than 2 buns and the other one with half a pound of meat. And then we've got some carnitas tacos and some chicken tacos.
Yeah, we've got a real smorgasbord in front of us.
We've also got some fries. We got some chips. We got some guacamole.
It's a bowl of fries. Like
Everything you could need.
For the listener at home, it is a Halloween bowl of French fries.
It's literally a large Pokemon ball.
Yeah.
Both sides. One side is filled with French fries. The other side is filled with chips.
Whatever it is, it's the closest thing I'm getting to a Thanksgiving.
And so,
Oh, and then we got some alcohol in front of us too.
we do. We're going to do something.
Yeah,
Cameron's been already like pounding that mocktail we made for him.
It's fucking tasty, man. Good on you. Thank
Dude,
you.
Eric, I should have had you make like a whole bunch of that mocktail for him.
Well, I can't have too many mocktails.
What's in that one again?
That is the roasted red pepper, some turmeric root, and some ginger root.
A little bit of egg white, right?
A little bit of egg white, some lemon juice, and
Yeah, it's very tasty, very good on the tongue. I like it.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna start because we're doing shots and beer with this because that sounds appropriate for like basically bar food.
Yeah.
So the first one in our stemless wine glass or tumbler glass, if
Classy.
you're classy, is a shot of Jameson. Because
Okay.
you know what better way to start off your drunk food night than a shot of JMO.
Bad things happen when Mr. Jameson comes to town.
Cheers.
salute.
Just like college.
Classic Irish, bitter and emotionally distant.
Yep.
All right, so Jake, I want to start the questions this time.
Okay.
What do you think is the importance of food in the bar industry?
Well, gosh darn, I don't know if this is an exact science, but I know when I at least eat with my booze, it's a bit more of a tame night.
Yeah.
or at least more well maintained.
Yeah, so science behind that is everything goes into your stomach and has to be digested. And if there's nothing in your stomach to soak up that alcohol, nothing in your system, you're going to get drunk real quick. I think I made a joke about that on the first episode where I was like, it's very interesting drinking with comedians because it does not take much to get you guys feeling real good because you don't eat before you drink. You prefer to take your calories in the form of beer.
Yeah, what money are we going to buy food with?
Yeah, dude, I gotta save money for booze, man.
Well, they give you the drink tickets, and then you use the money they might have paid you to drive to and from the gig.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or
That's basically how it worked when I was doing
you
music.
use the money they pay you to pay for the tab you put down for yourself because you're a fucking piece of shit.
And we've come a long way.
Yes, we have.
And now you can actually use that money for some yum-yums.
Yes, it's quite delightful to be able to drive from a show sober and go, you know what? I do deserve 2 Slim Jims.
Nice.
Wait, so you're sober and that's what you're going for?
Hey, man, you know,
Yeah.
you got to stop somewhere, and a gas station is almost always the place to stop. And
It's the only place that's well lit.
Yes, it's well lit.
There's a lot of
There's
people.
cameras.
There's a lot of people in Rockford that are well lit.
Yes.
But, that's a whole different
Most
story.
of them. Most of them.
I will say, like, a gas station, I don't mind a gas station like Pizza Puff. Ooh, not mad about it.
Yes, there was a specific gas station that I would stop at many moons ago, very drunk coming back from the city. Sorry, Mom, if you even care to listen. And the guy would keep Pizza Puffs there for me until about midnight when he normally would take them out at 10 because, you know, I'd come in and go, "You're a Pizza Puff. Give me the Euro one. It's greasy white. Oh, so good."
Wait, you got the Euro Puff?
Yeah, sometimes I would get the ham and cheese one because fuck me, right?
Europuff sounds like the homosexual version of like was it Eurotrip?
Yeah.
That terrible comedy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the Euro Puff.
I'm just gonna go down to Dark Alley, suck 1 Europuff, 2 Europuff. Thank you for ripping off of Nick Kroll and putting it in my brain.
That show is so fucking underrated. All right.
Yeah, well, let's talk about food. And
I agree. Let's
not
talk
that.
burgers. Actually, we'll start with the burgers. Since you've gotten sober, you've become a big burger boy.
Yeah, that's what I think people like myself do, which is alcoholics with tattoos and somewhat of a beard. They go, I'm going to be a tattoo artist, I'm going to be a barber, I'm going to be a bartender and never drink, and that never works out well. Or they get really into craft burgers, and that's what I did, because I'm a fucking loser.
Dude, I've never put that connection together. But yeah, craft burgers and people who don't drink a whole lot.
Yeah. It's you got to get into a passion, and microbrewing is a temptation.
Well, it's usually people who used to drink a lot too.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I'm running through my head of all the people I know of that do like really crafty burgers, and they all used to consume a lot of alcohol.
We're looking at you, Maddie Matheson. But yeah, like I remember we were just grilling and chilling, as it were. And what was the last one you made with the jam?
Oh, I made most of the time when I make a burger, I like to use a high fat content because I like the juice and flavor.
Because you like the flavor.
I like flavor in a fucking burger. I try not to cook them too much, but it depends on what I'm putting on them. But I made a burger with 73% lean chuck and a maple bacon onion jam as a bottom spread. And then used shredded Gruyere and Swiss with caramelized onions on a burger.
And be aware, motherfucker got this stuff at Aldi.
Yeah, you can buy this shit on the cheap. Like, you don't have to bust the fucking bank. Like, the maple bacon onion jam, that was expensive. I had to drive to Naperville for that. But everything else is, like, you can get on super
you didn't
cheap.
just make your own maple bacon jam?
No, I was on a time crunch because it was like, grill and chill. And I'm like, okay, I can buy this.
Yeah.
Well, like, eventually I want to make the steps where I take the time, give myself the time to go, I'm going to learn how to make this jam. I'm going to figure out different stuff.
You can make it in like 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, you just got to give yourself the time of day, you know.
Secret ingredient, coffee.
Yeah. You got to make it sweet. You got to counteract the wonder and smokiness of the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of burgers, let's slam real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, God, this looks like preserved.
Hello, Papa.
Well, fuck. I haven't had one of these.
One of these unnamed products procured from a local establishment.
Oh,
A multi-bun burger.
oh.
The unnamed product from a local establishment that they would give away for free anytime my high school won a football game.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
That was the deal. They gave you a thing at the gate where if our team won, you got a free the next day.
Everybody got hand jobs?
That's what it sounded like, man.
My tongue was shit.
That
Man,
had
did
to
you
be
see that defensive secondary yesterday? I got 2.
So I'm gonna pass it along to Eric. What do you think the importance of food in the bar industry is?
I don't want to say that you have to have food to have a successful bar operation. I just think that in general, for myself, as someone who is just very into not even the bar scene, but the restaurant scene in general, it's definitely a deciding factor on where I go and where I am going to, spend my money. I think that with restaurants, you have the trifecta. You have good food, you have good spirits, and then you have good service. And if you hit all those marks, then you should have a successful business. But if you don't have the good service, if you don't have a good cocktail program, and if you don't have just good food in general, then chances are you're just going to fail.
And mind you, good is relative. I've gone to plenty of bars where they just throw a Jack's on an oven, and I'm fine.
That is very true.
That was
again,
definitely the first bar that I went to with you. After I
Yeah.
met you. It was a bar that did that exact thing.
McDonald's, Jack's Pizzas. And you can't beat it at 3 in the morning when you're just absolute shithouse.
So, Cameron, I'm going to throw it over to you. What do you think the importance of, or what does food mean to you in the bar industry?
Well, personally, like, before I kind of got out of control with drinking, a bar that had good food was like, it provided something more. It gave you a reason to go there. Like, I have a lot of friends who, like, they like a bar that has great food. This is a place we can go. They can grab the drinks they want to get. They're not going out to get crazy, and they want to get quality food. And, like, they're not expecting fine dining. Like, they're not expecting something that will cost them $800. They're expecting food that is well put together and put together with care. And you can tell that, someone is actually trying to give you something they think is good. And they think that, like, they're proud of serving. And other bars are just like, you want a fucking Jack's Pizza? You're getting a Jack's Pizza because it's 2 in the morning and you're drinking Old Style.
And that's not to say that an establishment can't offer higher end fare.
Yeah.
Like, we had brunch at a place not too long ago that fucking knocked my socks off. Holy shit. Avondale
good
Tap
drinks.
in Chicago. Bravo.
You're doing it good, man.
Holy shit. And
That bacon.
yeah, and that biscuits and gravy was worth every fucking penny. But I know, like, I have an uncle who would be like, I'm not paying that much for biscuits and gravy. And I'd be like, fuck you. You don't know fucking art. Okay?
Well, aren't you glad you listened to me on that order, too?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you should get the biscuits and gravy.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Side
like,
of bacon.
He was like, I was thinking about it. He did it, and it was the happiest he's been in a
It
very
was just
long
like
time.
a perfectly flaky biscuit and like a chicken gravy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Biscuits and gravy is one of my ways of, like, kind of testing the mettle of a breakfast spot or a brunch spot, because it's like, it's such a simple, greasy, dirty food, but, like, you can fuck it up real bad, real
that's
quick.
Oh, yeah, if you're using, like,
Unless-
instant gravy and,
Yeah.
like, pre-made
Just
biscuits.
hard biscuits that have been sitting in a warmer, and it's like, if you go out of the way to make it, like,
Right?
With-
it's a
with-
fantastic dish. There's a reason why it's made every fucking day in the South.
yeah.
Like, I would
Comfort food.
It's the perfect comfort food, in my opinion, because you need only 2 ingredients. Biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
Some, an entomologist might argue that you need the word "and," but I'll take biscuits gravy any
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
I'll take bagravy. Just call it bagravy or griscuits. I'll fucking eat it. If it's good, I'll eat it.
Briskets might have corn in it.
You know what? Don't even care at this point.
My thing is, yes, you test the waters with the biscuits and gravy, unless you and I have gone to brunch together.
Yeah. And then you dip a grand sandwich in sausage gravy and you just go, fuck you, don't judge me.
I was thinking more about a certain road we like to drive down.
Oh, Hollandaise Road. Hell
Yeah.
yes. Eggs Benedict.
Yeah, I've heard there's an Eggs Benedict song that is completely copyright free, that could be aired on this podcast.
It's not quite a song as much as just a ripoff of the chorus, and that he pretty much stated it.
That's all you need. That's a jingle.
Yeah.
It's stupid, and I know everyone like shits on Eggs Benedicts, and it's a lazy brunch thing, but fuck you, it's tasty.
Do you know how hard it is to make Eggs Benedict? Like, a poached egg is hard to make. You have to do it perfect, or it just doesn't work.
I'm moving on to the chicken now.
So yeah, we've got chicken, pizza, 2 different kinds of tacos, French fries, chips and guacamole.
What beer is this?
So you have a Stiegl Radler in front of you. A Radler is a beer mixed with a fruit juice. And Jake just picked up and slammed it. Man.
That was kind of impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, bud.
So
How we doing?
we're doing good. I was going to say we should go whiskey stout.
I mean, I'll do the
Radler.
stout too. That's fine. It's whatever.
Jesus Christ, boyo.
All right, so Jake just slammed the Stiegl Radler, followed by a Guinness, after a shot of JMO.
Who do you think you are, me 7 months ago? I need to get rid of the evidence.
Well, I think what Jake's trying to do is learn from your approach, your methodology.
Are you method acting?
He's trying to be method comedy acting.
I'm trying to get into the zone I would be in where I'm eating this food. Because we've talked about it. I'm trying to do better.
All right, well, Jake, you might as well do the full triple crown here and finish off your next glass in front of you, which is a whiskey tumbler.
And that's water.
Did you already finish? Oh no, here it is. You have a shot of Tailwind's white agave, Tailwind silver agave. And you know what? We'll just go ahead and top that off with another bit of Tailwind's Arrested.
I gotta go to work in the morning.
Yeah, me too. Drink
You're
up.
the one who started going fucking like Animal House out here.
All right,
I am on this
fair point.
episode, you little bitch. Your father has spoken.
You drink in my stead.
So now we have a very obvious dichotomy. We have the 2 people that work in the bar industry who have barely touched their alcohol in front of them, and then we have Jake, who is drinking for 2.
Who has jumped the gun. One-way ticket to Toasty Land.
So I'm going to dig into what I think are some important factors in the bar industry when it comes to food that we haven't really talked about yet. And one is, you've kind of hinted at it, that it draws people in and it keeps you from getting drunk as fast. Having food in your bar helps you sell more drinks because people will eat their food and they'll drink to help kind of wash some of the food down, but also it prevents them from getting drunk as fast, so they want to have another drink to get them to that level. But it also is going to make your staff more money by raising the cost per ticket. Their ticket average is going to go up, which increases their average tip. And me, as someone who wants to go home with money in my pocket, I want you to order the most expensive things. And if I've got a filet on the menu or lobster, I'm pitching it. That's what I'm trying to make money, man. Sell the fish.
I mean,
right?
and as someone who works with bars to put on entertainment for those bars, being able to work out a food compensate, like a comped dinner for an entertainer, it's just a way that we can show that, and the venue can show that, hey, we care about our performers that are entertaining in our establishment. Because there's plenty of places that don't care.
Oh, yeah.
The show that I run, we offer a pretty substantial food tab to our comedians.
Yeah.
You pretty much could get anything but steak.
Yeah.
And
all the food there is worth getting, even if you didn't have, if you had to pay for it. That food is worth paying
and
for.
it's I've had comics that hey, the food's my second favorite part of the show outside of just being on the show.
And getting paid. I mean,
Yes.
that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's
You get food and you get drink.
It's
tickets,
just another
and you
thing.
get paid.
It's just
Yeah.
it's also
That
And
is-
there's a train there.
That is one of the rarest things, because since I've quit drinking, I've gone to shows, and a lot of shows, they go, we give you a tab and here's some cash. And it's well, I don't drink, can I get food? And some people are no. But I don't drink. They're that's your problem. I'm then give me $10 cash. And they're okay. But you won't give me food? But you'll give me fuck you people.
Yeah. People don't understand the mathematics there. It's still more beneficial for you to order food for them.
Yeah.
It's
whereas my comics come in and not only do they get paid cash, but on top of that get 3 drinks. That adds a value that people don't Like, I've had people kind of say that we don't pay enough. But I'm like, you're not taking into consideration, like, the food and drink package that you're getting. Like, we're giving you a good meal.
And they don't have to drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's in a really awesome metro train station.
Yes.
Like, it's one of the largest train stations in the state.
You know, it's a nicer place, so the food's a little higher end, but it's like you can get a really nice plate of fish tacos, rice, and beans for $13. And we fucking comp that to the comics. And most of them are like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I love this new podcast method where you just promote your show.
Yes.
Instead of talking to me about how amazing I am.
I mean, I can talk about how amazing your show is, and I'm scared about oh, hey, here's a cool bit of news.
Shameless self-plug.
The Boozatory has been nominated for an award.
We did it.
We did it. We've been nominated for the Burbies.
And it took us less than a year. We did it.
Mm-hmm. Take that, rival podcasts.
Don't say that. I was literally just on one of those rival podcasts earlier today. One that I am consistently just sitting at.
How many other podcasts across the world get nominated for an award within their first year?
Probably a decent amount.
Yeah, there's probably a fairly large amount.
I mean, I didn't even know how many podcast awards there are.
Yeah. In fact, I didn't know there were podcast awards until we got nominated. Jake called me and was like, hey man, we got nominated for an award. I was like, how?
I will say, even though...
What is this process? I don't get it.
I would imagine, like, a podcast award, even if you won it, you wouldn't flaunt it.
Is it kind of like what's the internet award that's
Streamies?
The Razzies?
The
Where it's like
Razzies are like the worst of film.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, they're the anti-Oscars.
Yes, I would be down with something like that.
Yeah.
If someone threw me one of those, I would be pretty happy about it.
Mm-hmm. We're the worst thing to happen to the alcohol industry.
Jake, you're feeling good, aren't you?
Yeah.
This pizza is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect for a $5 lukewarm and available to take immediately pizza?
Yeah.
I will say, I went in to get this, and I walked in. I wish I had more context. But from what I gathered when I walked in, and from just what I heard as I'm standing there, a customer and a manager were getting into an argument about whether or not pepperoni is spicy.
I watched someone at a burger place in Yorkville complain that the mayonnaise was spicy.
I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
Yeah.
That is a level of just whiteness that that upsets me.
Do you remember the movie Undercover Brother?
Yes.
Where the big thing when he was undercover was that they put mayo all over everything and it had no flavor?
Mm-hmm.
And it just got rid of all of the other flavors. Imagine being so white that specific thing doesn't have it has too much flavor for you.
God damn it. Those are people who they even smell a bell pepper. They're like, ooh, this is the spicy taco. Fucking poke them in the eyes. Goddamn snowflakes.
Jesus Christ.
Conservatives.
So back to other things that are important in food for the bar industry is, like I said, I work with two different programs right now. One program, the split between food sales to drink sales is 75-25. So the restaurant does 75% of its total sales in food and does the rest of it in alcohol. And to give you an idea of like how much that amount is, in wine alone, that bar does every month 20 to 25,000 in wine. So when you realize that's only a quarter of how much they're doing in sales, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of money, and you gotta realize, like, as a server or bartender, you gotta realize what it is that brings people in and how you can like make your money on top of that. And knowing that you're a food first establishment, you know the food's gonna sell itself. Mm-hmm. You can spend the entire time you're at that table talking about drinks, because the food doesn't need to be sold anymore. Like it's doing its job.
Like, you are currently kind of between two places. One of them being more of a restaurant.
Yeah, one of them is restaurant forward. Like I said, it's
the other one
75% in food sales,
and the other one being a speakeasy setup, but still has like small plates and burgers.
Yeah, it's got like, I think we have 8 dishes, maybe 9 total. where it's like small little bits of food that are all shareable, and then like a couple burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Saturday night we did 4,000 in alcohol sales.
Fuck.
Well, to be fair, we did just under 4,000.
Yeah,
And PJ and I are very petty, so we bought ourselves a little Pappy Van Winkle to cap off the night.
yeah.
I've had
We were $55 short and of breaking 4,000, and I knew that the Pappy Van Winkle 12-year was exactly $55. I was like, all right, we're drinking it. It's on there. We beat it. 4K. Done.
Nice.
Especially considering I've been there for 5 days. Eric has been there for 4.
Yep.
At the end of that shift, it was your 4th day. And we broke the
You've
sales
broken the record 2
weeks in a row. Yeah, his first and second day, we broke the record there.
And then you broke your own record.
And then broke our own record the following week, which is nuts. I'm pretty happy about that because, anytime you hire somebody new, I can only imagine the ownership there, they're going to have a little bit of doubts because the program was doing great.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't start this program, but they had some wonderful people in charge of it. And it feels really good to be able to walk into the place and show them that we deserve to be there.
You're a producer at a establishment that kind of purveys food.
He makes sandwiches, pierogies randomly. Does not charge for anything. He just forces food at you and is like, I made the chili for you. Okay, why? It's a Thursday. No one's here.
No, there have been plenty of show at that establishment. We've shown up to set up, and he just kind of comes out and goes, I cooked tonight. And we're like, what does that mean?
Yeah. The last time the bar owner cooked, he made, I believe, 10 DiGiorno pizzas. Because I don't have other food. I make this food for you. Why?
He's a delightful Polish man.
Then set
This
up...
is a bakery and a bar.
He
The
baked
comedy
pizzas.
And then subsequently
He
pulled
did
out
bake
a table to set up and then cut the pizza into single slices and started making comedians hand it out to people. Like before the show. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
He just told you are a server there now.
Yeah, like our fucking headlining comedian was just standing there and he just looked at them and was like, pizza? And they were like, yeah. And he's like, pass it. And they just turned around like, I guess I'm giving people pizza now? I'm like, I'm so sorry.
They roped the headliner into serving. That's
Yeah,
great.
that was crazy. No, there's...
I don't know what the best punchline of that night was, but it was probably the headliner handing out pizza.
Yes. There was once
Not
many
to say
moons
that your
ago.
comedians weren't amazing, because
No, they
I've
were
been to
good.
that show. You guys do an amazing job.
Thank you. We also are nominated for an award too of the same variety as
I'll
y'all.
fight you to the fucking death.
That's okay.
Oh yeah. I just screamed about this earlier, and I got a friend on lock who is gonna Kanye you motherfuckers if you win.
Oh, yeah?
Because we all know we are the Beyonce here.
Does
and
his
we
name-
don't get the MTV.
Does his name ride with Schmavid Schmitko?
No.
Wow.
What I want you to know is I've said that I think you're the best comedian in the burbs on this podcast twice.
Well, thank you. That is a bold-faced lie. I appreciate it.
It's my opinion.
And I believe your opinion is 100% correct. Thank you.
Yeah.
I am fucking amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
I am so sorry to all the other comedians who I know are way better than I am, and this is just a disclaimer that I respect you and I look up to you, and this has been my ASMR apology.
His
Thank you.
name is Flim Janigan.
Flim Janigan. He's gonna three-peat, that motherfucker. Either way, there was once at the bar where I was running a variety show that Jake was a part of that we tried to have as a food theme to mix in like the food element of entertainment with everything. So we had like...
Which we pulled off very successfully twice.
Yeah, the other few times sucked. But that first time I spoke with the bar owner and I was like, I am bringing a giant birthday cake. I'm going to cut it up and people are going to get slices for the show because it's like a birthday cake theme thing for the show. And instead of just going, okay,
He goes, no, I bake.
I showed up and he made a pan of baked potatoes,
Yeah.
which people ate more of the potatoes than they did the birthday cake. So I spent upwards of like $60 plus on a 90-person birthday cake. And it was a third of it may be eaten 2 or 3 slices by myself.
So what I'm hearing is you got to eat so much cake across the next month.
Yeah, I had a lot of cake, and it was my birthday cake, so it was even more depressing than
So
I would have birthday cake.
You got to have your cake and eat it too.
Yes, but not that much.
You were also force-fed Fruit Loops that night.
Yeah, I was also electric shocked and shot with a paintball gun as well.
Yeah.
I am an artist.
We have
Thank you
fun.
very much.
We have fun
We
here.
have fun. You guys like to ramp up your alt comedy? Bring it on. I forcibly vomited during my show, so hey, what are you gonna do? I made 2 grown men vomit on stage in a room of people who were not ready for it.
Let's talk about alt comedy. I've seen some pretty interesting advertisements for shows here in Chicago. And being someone that's not really a major part of the comedy scene, sometimes I see these because I'm comedy adjacent. Like, I have a lot of friends that do comedy, but I'm not necessarily always involved in it. And I see some of these shows that are like comedy for comedians, and you guys get crazy.
Yeah.
The 2 I've seen recently that made me go, okay, I don't understand this. The first one is Strip Joker.
Oh, that's a great show.
And the
that is
second
absolutely
one
a great show.
is Boy Girl Slumber Party or something like
Boy
that.
Girl Sleepover.
Sleepover, that's it.
That one's pretty straightforward.
Strip Joker is a wonderful show run by some wonderful people, and
Yes.
I would love to be on it. Just kidding, I won't show my body to anyone. I'm pure. But no, there's an idea, I think, in a lot of Chicago comedians' heads is that whereas in like New York and LA, there's a lot of industry there, so the purity of stand-up kind of remains like
Right.
it is what it's supposed to be. You're there to be a comedian, but in Chicago there isn't so much of an element of industry there. So Chicago kind of becomes a breeding ground for people to really find what they want to say and really find out how they want to say it and get really fucking weird with it, or even just go be more honest with it, like things like Strip Joker, like making your body a vulnerable part of your act while still being funny. There's elements to that in Chicago that some places don't get, and some people just get real fucking weird with it, like myself or some other very funny people out here.
I just actually saw one earlier today, an advertisement for an all like non-binary or female identifying only show where they tell their most disgusting stories.
Yeah, I believe that would be Ladylike.
Yes.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah, I think that's the
And
one.
that's also a wonderful show run by wonderful people trying to just break the mold of traditional stand-up.
Yeah, I think it's really awesome to see all of these people that are able to express the styles that they want to, and there's a community here for it. And I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about any of these like very concept-driven shows.
No. I would say one of the biggest, best examples of alt comedy right now is something called Late Late Breakfast that Cameron has participated in multiple times, that is currently hosted in Chicago by Megan Stalder and my good friend Meredith Cashel. You've been there more than me. Why don't you explain it?
I just started going a couple months ago. The concept is like an open sign-up late afternoon on a Saturday once a month. They do weird games during comedic
Free
performances.
pancakes before the show.
Yeah, free pancakes every show. It's at the Hideout, first Saturday of the month. And it takes stand-up to a level of, let's see what you can do with a very bizarre situation or very bizarre guidelines and rules while still, maintaining something of a level of integrity to what you're doing.
I've noticed that there is a little bit of a rift in Chicago in the comedy scene between stand-up comedians and improvisational comedians.
Yeah,
My question becomes, when you're creating these very avant-garde kind of comedy performances where you're getting people out of the performers out of their comfort zone, at what point does a large part of that show become improv?
I personally, on the most part, in general, have no problem with improv. Like, when it's really good, it's really fucking good.
I agree.
And when it's not, it's usually fucking terrible. But
I feel the same way about alcohol.
It takes a lot of fucking guts to go up and go, I have absolutely nothing prepared. If you're honestly doing improv, to honestly go up and go, whatever the hell you say to me, I'm going to work with as much as I can and know my limits of what I can do with it. And whereas stand-up has this, I know exactly what I want to fucking say, so please let me say it.
That's
because
one of the best ways to learn, though. Honestly.
Yeah.
Even with bartending, it comes down to, you know what you're doing, but when you're in an environment that has a much looser feel and you're forced to improvise, it brings you out of your comfort zone, and you just end up coming up with some of the greatest things that you've ever been able to create. Because you're kind of forced into the moment.
Yeah, like for me personally, like my stand-up writing process isn't always a sit down and write. Like a lot of comedians have notebook and they're
we
writing.
Fucking tried to on Friday.
Yeah, like I cannot. I rarely, if ever, have sat down and like written a joke word for word and then worked on it and then like did that. What I do is I have the concept and idea and I kind of free flow with it because I want my voice to be earnest behind it. So like when I sit down to try and write it, there's a level of proofreading and elements and like very choosy with my words, but when I'm just fucking saying it, I'm doing it with my honesty and with what I would normally say to a person. So the idea is comedically written, but the presentation and writing process is very improvisational. And then when I record all of that, which is like a improv no-no, you're not supposed to record improv, but like I record that and listen back obsessively. I will listen to a set so many times that I know the breaks, the pauses, the laughter. I know the rhythm, the tone I'm saying it in. I know who went before me, who came after me, how many people were in the crowd, what other places I performed earlier that night, how much time I was presenting to do, what I anticipated I want to say, what came off the cuff, and just dissect the absolute shit out of it. So that improvisational element is almost gone by the time I actually start performing it later.
Whereas my writing process, also not deliberate, but there's an element of panic to it.
Yeah, always look terrified up on stage.
It's not even an on stage thing. I'm pretty much one of the guys where like I know exactly what I'm gonna say on stage. I'll riff a little bit here and there. But I'm talking as far as like writing a joke, I can't deliberately write one. I can't just sit there and write one. But I also like am not at a point where I'm working stuff out on stage. Totally. Mm-hmm. It's more of just like we're out somewhere, an idea pops in my head, and I just kind of nervously go, "Give me a pen. Give me a fucking pen."
You don't just voice record into the phone?
No, that would be crazy.
Hey, fuck you. I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
I've definitely recorded cocktails that way.
I've definitely like said repeated like joke concepts out loud, like in a car, so I don't forget them, and just watched people watch me talk to myself. That's something I've done.
Yeah, I don't know if you do this, Eric, but at least with me, whenever I go out to bars, I analyze their cocktail menu and I talk about like how they came up with those ideas and like where it was based from. And my mind immediately goes to how would I have done this differently? Mm-hmm. Not that theirs isn't amazing, but everyone has their own style, and I have certain tastes and certain things I typically like to play on. Mm-hmm. And so I'll go to a cocktail program, like one of our good friends that has worked with both of us before. She's a fantastic cocktail bartender, but she hates when I do this. When I look at someone else's cocktail program and I try and figure out how I would have done it differently. Mm-hmm. I think that it's important to learn from each other and to learn like. I think you said it best earlier. You know what your limits are, mm-hmm. and knowing how to play around that when you're doing improv, and knowing how like what your peaks are going to be, and staying within that box. It can be very rewarding and very punishing.
The best compliment as a comedian that you can get from another comedian is, "I wish I had wrote that." You with the cocktail meal, it's like we watch stand up differently. Like I. With a good friend of mine, went and saw a very famous comedian who is not around so much anymore because he pulled his wiener out when he wasn't supposed to. But I went and saw that. And
the wiener
I went and I saw him, and I saw two other comedians that I was not expecting to see that night. And them I'll name. This guy, Louis. So I saw Louis. And he had surprise openers, and those surprise openers were Hannibal Buress and Stephen Wright.
Oh, that's a pretty big lineup.
Yeah. Stephen Wright opened for it. We got done with the show. I asked my friend, I was like, how'd you like the show? She was like, it was good, but I'm not going to invite you again. And I was like, what? Why? And she went, I was laughing. You were watching it like it was a Harvard lecture.
I mean, being behind a bar is the same thing as being on stage,
Absolutely.
I mean, before I go on every single day in my head, it's like it's showtime, It's like you're going up there and when there's a pause in the conversation between people sitting at the bar, what are they doing? They're not just looking at their feet; they're looking at you, watching every single move you make, and it can be very nerve-wracking. But you kind of learn how to, if you fumble, you learn how to kind of pick up after that and to continue on. Just make it work for you. So you pick up all those tricks of the trade as you go along.
Yep.
Just really quick, I'd love to hear your guys' worst fumble that you can just.
Oh God, I think the worst set we had together was I refer to it as the Mike Before Christmas. It was a night at our usual haunt.
Oh, was this on a Wednesday evening?
Yes.
Oh, is that the one where I had a meltdown and threatened someone's life?
Yeah.
I wasn't in a good place when that happened, and still no excuse, just a reason.
You did better than the guy after you.
Yeah. Well, either way, it was poor.
This was a night where it's a mix between music and comedy. It was, as I said, the Mike Before Christmas, so a lot of people were home from college, and it was just everyone was there drinking like they just got back from Nam.
So there was 60 people in this place, and 2 bands had decided that they had worked with the person running the open mic. They were going to do a reunion show, a one-off, because they were local guys, and everyone was like, yeah, we'll get our friends to come out. So both of them played back-to-back, and both of them did encores into 20 minutes at an open mic, which made me very upset. So I started to drink, as I was wont to do when I got agitated. By the time I got up, there was 2 very, just aggressively drunk women who, that level of drunk girl. You guys work in the industry. You know that one girl, you, see her walk in, and you're like, that's a problem already. Yes. She has yet to say something. These girls were, I don't care that live performance is happening. I'm going to talk out loud to each other.
The pizza girls from the first show.
No, different girls, but same concept.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, they were real special words.
Here's the thing. We all went up, there were 4 of us. We went together in a block after 8 just heavy rock bands. And people were drinking like it was the end of the world. So by the time we got up, it was bedlam.
It was utter chaos by the time that everyone got up.
And the thing is, at that particular establishment, when comedy is starting, there's a particular song that plays to signify it. It's kind of our theme. And it's a bit of What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
And that song played, and these girls start dancing. And they're dancing. And they're having the time of their lives.
You can't blame them for that. I mean, it's a good song.
It's a classic.
We love a Michael McDonald. It came from somewhere back in the long ago.
Right, that's as far as we can get in the royalties.
Okay.
That's 6 seconds, man.
All right.
And the song comes off, and Cameron goes up, but they were dancing, so we interrupted their dancing, and they proceeded to let Cameron know that you interrupted our dancing. And Cameron
is an artist.
You have a sweet spot for hecklers?
I don't, but they just love me. And particularly at this one place on these types of evenings. So I'm going through my material, trying to work with it. There's people actually listening, people actually giving me something back. And the whole time they just keep talking and talking. I'm like, hey, just, if you want to talk seriously, just go out in front or the back. That's all you have to do.
Just not next to the stage.
Just not right in front of me. And then yelling at me. Please, just go out. And they're like, fuck you. And then they just keep doing it, and finally, everyone's like, we could see it boiling more and more.
Yeah,
where it was just
you're someone you have visible stages of angry.
Yes.
I've seen a few of them.
Yeah, and I am borderline ready to just, physically do something about this. And
which is 9 stages in.
Yeah, there's 30 stages. But yeah, these girls, they were just fuck you, you're fucking funny anyways, shut up, fuck you. And I just snapped and was like, shut the fuck up, you stupid fucking fuck you. And I just I was saying shit that still to this day makes me upset that I said it, and I feel like a bad person for saying everything. And the whole crowd was just like, oh no. The bear has been poketh too many times.
How many people were laughing though, and were they all comedians?
The comedians were like,
Oh.
You've never seen him. This is code. What color is this? What code is this? We don't know this color.
Which DEFCON? Which DEFCON?
DEFCON 2!
This is he's foaming. Well, is this a good one or a bad one? And yeah, it got really out of control. And like I screamed at him, and they stormed out saying shit, and people were pulling them out, and I was like veins and necks spitting.
Your comedy involves screaming and veins and neck and spitting.
Yeah, I mean,
so I could see where someone might be like, "Oh, I've seen his show a few times. This is new."
Yeah, but like there's direction and purpose and like awareness to like when I'm like I'm screaming about something.
It's usually not directed at a person you've had a conversation with during that show.
Yeah, and
It's directed at a defunct casual eating establishment.
Yeah, and it was just like, who fucking.
And then the comic that followed Cameron, he was a young gun who was not as apt to handle a heckler as Cameron was. Basically just told those two girls to go kill themselves and turned the entire crowd.
Yeah, the entire crowd was just like, what he said was like fucking really bad, and you didn't even make a joke and get interrupted. You just came up and started saying bad shit to them, and it was like, dude, Youngblood, you can't do that.
No,
buddy, you gotta roll it back. And he was like, but you, and I'm like, I had a breakdown. What I had was a bad little boo-boo where I have to apologize.
You just walked up, grabbed the mic, and told ladies to kill themselves.
Yeah, this isn't like fucking weird, so like. It was bad. It was
You had a little bit more of a nuanced approach to it.
Yeah,
And so I looked at the last guy I was next, and there was another guy behind me, and I looked at him, and he had driven a very long way, and he was just like, I don't know about this, and I was like, I just got to take a bullet here. So I just quietly and sheepishly told my jokes to the 4 people listening. And I intentionally told them quietly because
you reset the crowd.
I reset, and I just kind of took that bullet for our friend who had driven however many miles, and he had an okay set.
Yeah. And then I was outside fuming and spitting everywhere, just angry. And as soon as I got done, I was just outside, and people came out, and they're like, "What the fuck happened, dude?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I feel really bad about everything I just said. And I want to apologize, but they don't want to talk to me. And they also kind of deserve to get yelled at. So everyone's bad in this situation."
Yeah, there were no heroes.
This is my Vietnam. I think I'm a hero.
If anyone was a hero, it was me, goddammit.
I didn't watch Jake die face down in the muck. So these whores, these harlots, can step on their grave. Yeah, no, that was a very interesting evening.
Yeah, so we actually get hecklers as well at the bar, especially in speakeasies where you don't typically do a lot of vodka cocktails. Mm-hmm. We also only do bottled wine, and we have 4 beers, and they're large beers.
Yeah,
and they're all bottled from the same company.
I'm going to make a sound right now, and this is what I hear is the worst heckle a bartender can receive.
Ooh,
dude, that bothered me. Jesus.
If anyone snaps or whistles, I have 100% policy. I will immediately take you outside.
Ooh.
There's no second chances on that with me.
Fight him, Daddy. Fight him.
Ooh, Dad's gonna get him.
I can tell you the exact number of people that have snapped or whistled at me because I count them. I know exactly how many people
carve them into the bar.
It's exactly 13 people since I've started bartending.
Wow.
And I've been doing this now for 5 years behind the bar. So I feel like I have a pretty good ratio because when one person does it and they see an immediate change from me being happy and having a fun time behind the bar, and suddenly I'm stone-faced and grabbing someone by the collar and walking them out the door for a small sound they made, no one else does it the rest of the night, and they never do it again.
Yeah.
How dope would it be if we could do that?
Oh, man.
What's stopping you?
Liability?
More often than not, we can't get a bar to turn a TV off.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Bars will not turn TVs off because they came to see the game. You have live entertainment that requires silence and attention that you agreed to have and pay for.
They're trying to watch Game of Thrones, man. You gotta give them a break.
Not that game!
It's way too early.
Oh, God, spoilers! I'm recording at home!
No, there was a particular competition show that Cameron and I were on, and they did not shut the TV off for the football game. that particular night, and I believe it was Green Bay versus Detroit.
Yeah, it was.
The one Packers fan in a town of, 400 people?
Large man, we'll just say. Made of cheese.
Big
Large man made of cheese.
BIG''UN. Biggin.
A biggin. It was a large cheese wheel-shaped man.
Yeah.
The
And he was like,
notorious
can't
BIGN.
turn the TV off. Packer game's on. Like, but we're performing. I don't give a shit. Packers game is on. Go to another bar. We'll perform to no one. No, Packers game is on. And they left it on, and he talked the whole time with the bartender until two people showed up and made fun of one of the comedians with a disability, which was great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gotta love Southern Illinois.
I think that, the dumbest person I had to deal with was actually at your show.
Oh, God.
I was doing a joke in which I referenced some ancient ruins, specifically Machu Picchu and Chichen Itza.
Okay.
And
Very famous ruins in South America.
made some baller puns with them. Everyone laughs. Ha 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 ha. Lady at the end of the laughter goes, I don't know what that is.
I love how everyone who doesn't know these things is Southern. Like, I even did a little bit of a Southern accent on mine, too.
It's not.
And I
I grew up in
loud,
the South. I think
out-
I can get away with it, but I don't mean that as offensive to people with Southern accents. I know that there are just as many
And this,
intelligent
like I
people.
said this, and I heard Cameron made his happy noise in the back. I was like, ma'am, read a 4th grade textbook? You're 50.
It was so good. Oh, made me giggle. Yeah, no, there's a lot of mouth-breathing Gunthers out there dragging their knuckles behind them with nothing twain their eyes and a gasp of dying air. Just going, oh, what the Chechen Etzel? I don't care. I hate gays. I'm going to go finger my own butt until I die.
So anyway, one more.
Chetzenetzel, that's the big flying lizard, ain't it?
They ain't gay. They're cousins.
So,
God.
one last relevant question before we wrap up. What goes into like planning a menu for food at a bar?
I think the first thing is concept. You know, what is the concept of your place? Is it a bar first? Like, we'll take the speakeasy, for example. In a speakeasy environment where you're cocktail forward, food is definitely the secondary. The drinks are king. And so the food is there to support the drinks, which means the majority of space in front of you belongs to the drink. Even though the drink only takes a small square,
Yes.
that drink gets like basically an entire foot in front of you. That is its space. And then everything else needs to be able to kind of rest on the sides. So you want literally smaller plates. You don't want someone to have like a big meal in front of them because you want people to kind of just snack and drink.
Yeah.
Because that's going to create more.
And
They're
so
going to drink more.
the other two ways you can go with it, and I'll kind of go just off of my impression of certain places. You can go to food forward place, which is the other establishment you work
Right,
at, which is
where-
a restaurant with a bar.
Right. It's a restaurant that knows that they need alcohol and they need the alcohol to be good.
And then you're going to get a hybrid where it's kind of both are featured very well. And as an example, I'm going to reference the establishment our friend Sebastian works at, La Josie.
Yeah, La Josie, I think they do a fantastic job. I would say they're a little bit bar forward there because they have the multi-bar program there. They have 3 bars in the building. But yeah, it's
But goddamn that food.
Yeah, it's really awesome Mexican food. Done really well. There's a kitchen right when you walk in. You see it all being cooked. And then you walk past the kitchen to get to the bar.
Yeah.
Beautiful establishment on Randolph. If you haven't been to La Josie in Chicago, highly recommend it. They do a really great job. And it's a really fun place to like have a party on Fridays and Saturday nights.
Yeah, we went to an event not too long ago. It was a fucking blast.
Yeah, it's amazing. They do a great job.
All
But
right, so we've got concept.
Mhm.
And we've got...
well, concept is the main driving force
Okay.
in especially in Chicago. You know, they're like New York, you can just have good food and good drinks and like that's all you need to be successful. Chicago is an area where they demand you to have a theme. There needs to be a reason why you are there other than you can just do stuff good.
Yeah.
Like you can go to New York and you can find a place that does tacos, pizza, burgers, small plate steaks and like charcuterie, and they do beer and cognac, and they're packed because everything they do it really well.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago would go, what is this?
I mean, that's the thing with Chicago, though, is just that people talk about the saturation of the market as a bad thing, and I don't think that's inherently true, because if there's just so many people doing so many different things, or even doing the same thing that you're trying to do, it's more so a driving factor for you to do it better than
Competition.
Else. Yeah, exactly.
And it forces you to have your own identity.
Right, exactly.
Well, that circles right back down to comedy. Like I just said, you have to have a voice here, and you have the freedom to find that voice here. So, like, that is demanded of you. Is like, why should I go see you? I could see stand-up anywhere. I could see comedy anywhere. Give me a reason to come there, other than, oh, you say you're the best? Everybody says they're the fucking best.
Right.
Give me something to want to go.
And it was something that we've played with in the past, and that, like we said, we ran a variety show of kind of the alt variety, and we had to find what our voice and niche was, and it ended up being pain and torture, but whatever.
Yeah, but I'm an artist.
Yeah. Being electrocuted is art.
Have you tried telling the state of Texas that? Because if you told them that, they would defund it immediately.
Oh, well.
I miss the good old days when starving was art.
Yeah, we've been doing that other than tonight.
No, now it's pouring.
Yeah, I had too much food. I'm just getting very tired and want to take a coma now. A lot of bad food, and I'm just die.
He's gonna make me eat that taco.
I'm gonna make a death.
How was the taco? I like it with just the cilantro and onion.
Eat the taco then.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
No.
That one is the pollo.
Ah.
Chicken,
Marco Pollo.
lime, cilantro, and white onion.
Marco.
Pollo.
Jake's a little drunk, guys.
That's how that works.
Cameron, you got anything you want to plug, bud?
Just follow me on Twitter at 2kidsinOvercoat. On Instagram, Cameron_tells_jokes. Calm down, please don't die. Come on, but arms up in the air, big bud. I'm doing a promo here. Don't die on Dan right now. Okay. All right, we good?
Although, if Jake dies in the middle of your promo, that is like fueling the fire for why everyone should check it out.
A promo so good, his friend died. Fuck me. Yeah, just follow me on the social medias. Like everything, retweet it, tell your friends how funny I am. Listen to this podcast over and over. Support live art and live entertainment, and support small business and people who work really fucking hard. Support unions and eat the rich.
Eric?
Yeah, my plug. I would love to plug Coleoho Mezcal. I'm not even going to try and sell it because it sells itself. Also, go ahead and follow me at 2fluidounces on Instagram to check out all the nifty drinks that me and PJ are going to be coming up with at the Speakeasy.
Yeah.
PJ, do our plugs. I got taco up my nose.
Yeah.
My boy's dying over here.
So you can follow us on Instagram at the Boozatory. And as always, please send us in your email questions, comments, concerns about Jake's life and his consumption of tacos through his nose.
So disappointed.
Which is theboozatory@gmail.com. I'd like to throw out this question there. If anyone would be interested in seeing a Boozatory live show from a local distillery with some really awesome comedy, please email in and let us know. That will kind of base our decision on if we're going to go through with this idea or not. You can follow me at Wagner_oldfashioned on Instagram. You'll see some of our cool new drinks coming out there. And then thank you to Shane Goss and her band, The Fair Shake, for the use of their song for our theme song.
Woo! John Bond, our producer, thank you.
Yeah, John, thank you for being an incredible person and helping us with everything you do.
I'm going to go die.
Oh, also like Shots and Giggles Live Comedy. It's the show I help run with awesome people at the Drunken Donut every fourth Saturday.
All right,
Sorry.
and before we close, Cameron, you got a story for us, man.
Oh, okay. What kind of story are we looking for here? Are we looking for mistake,
let's
crazy?
go with a food-based mistake you made after drinking. And why was it at Denny's?
Well, which one are you? Is this a specific story you're
No,
referencing?
I'm just saying that Denny's after drinking
You're
is
describing a
always
Tuesday night for him, so
Yeah.
Well, we've had many experience at Denny's. There was the real sad day. There was the day that we dined with the local community college anime club.
All of which I was very drunk for. No, I would say this is a positive story. Actually, this is
All right.
This
First.
is
That's a first.
I know it's crazy. It's a weird thing that sits in my compulsive, obsessive, weird, bizarre little brain. I've known for most of my life that I get very obsessive about certain things and foods, and I only eat those. I only do this thing, and I never really break away from things. Like, I'm always preaching, try new things, live your life, do this and that. And it's like, I got sober, I'm trying to get my shit together and do new things and find new ways of occupying myself and finding new ways to really get something out of life. And the weirdest, stupidest thing is what showed me that. And I went to a restaurant with a friend. It was a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant, like a 24-hour diner. And I was looking through the menu. It was just a little fucking plastic mon-pa fucking menu. Like, we got burgers, we got pancakes, we got cheese sticks, ooh, we got pudding. And it's just like old dude on grill making burgers, talking shit to the waitress. They're cackling with their tobacco laugh. And I'm like, you know what? I always get a fucking burger. I always get this. I never shy away from something and just go into something new. And even this is just fucking garbage food. It's something I should try. And I looked and I saw fried bologna sandwich. I have never had fried bologna in my life. Every time my mom made fried bologna when I was a kid, I was disgusted by it. The smell of it, like the idea of it, everything about bologna fucking sucked.
I'm on the same page.
And I was like, you know what? I'm trying to do new things and trying to experience things and give myself a chance to be surprised. And I had a bologna sandwich with American cheese, and a deep fried egg, and a little bit of fucking ham on it. And then I was just like, you know, I'm going to have it. And I bit into it and I'm like, this is actually surprisingly fucking good. And I never would have fucking made this decision like 7 months ago because I would have been cripplingly afraid of trying the new thing or doing the new thing. And I wouldn't allow myself to have that experience if I was still in a world of letting my life be controlled by things I can't control.
You hear that? This cuck was afraid of baloney.
Fuck you.
Let me throw another one your way. Fried Spam.
Fried Spam? I have actually never had fried Spam. I've had regular Spam. Interesting.
Ooh, I gotta take you to my Hawaiian spot.
Yeah, I have a friend who lives in Hawaii. She talks about how everyone eats Spam in all sorts of different ways.
Spam
and
Reese's.
Yeah, it's fucking weird because it's preserved meats.
Imports.
Yeah, it's weird stuff. But yeah, the idea of fried bologna sandwich is like this weird mantra in my brain now of fucking just do it. Do the thing you want to do. Don't be afraid. Do something about it. Say something about it. Be honest and be willing to have new experiences in your life. And fried bologna sandwich is my battle cry as I fucking fly right into the abyss, with a sword held high.
I'm sweaty drunk.
Oh, shut the fuck up. You're ruining my momentum.
Jake over here with the meat sweats.
In a little bit.
I'm over here telling my goddamn war stories, and you're out here going, oh, I got sweat on my tits again.
All right, well, as always, Cameron, it's wonderful to have you come out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Loved it.
And Eric, I'll see you again this weekend.
Absolutely.
when we're manning the battle stations.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to do it for us tonight.
I'll be outside in gym shorts in November.
Oh, you little bitch.